Good morning. Good to have an interview for the first time on behalf of Handbalteam and FotoReza. Are you happy to be back in Holland?
Yeah, good morning. Yes, I'm always happy to be in Holland, especially after starting cold summer in Iceland. It is really good to get and coming back to warm weather.
You're already Dutch team's coach for 8 months. You had a successful World Cup qualification and 2 tournaments in Latvia and in the Netherlands. That's totally 13 games as a coach. What is your impression from this team?
My first impression was we have a lot of talented players, young players, who are really to sacrifice for the sport, and they have been taking a step forward, I think. This is a really good team to work with.
What are the strong points according to you, and which points needs more work?
Of course, also a little bit individual thing. Some guys have a strength and some guys have weaknesses in some position and so on. But of course, like I told you, we have young players, which is sometimes good and sometimes is bad. But our strength is more in the attack. In the defense, we have not so much variation of players, and so that's the reason we also have been changing defenses. So we need to develop just our game with our players.
Because that was my next question. It's always been a big challenge for Dutch team to play against the world's best team. That's why they couldn't reach a World Cup or a European Cup for many, many years. What are the ways to win from these top teams?
Of course, we have to keep on developing and just focus on our performance. That's number one. And we need to, of course, to win good teams, we just have to make less mistakes than the opponent. That's like one rule. And of course, just also to believe that we can do it. Because if you believe, you can take 1-2 steps forward. But I think sooner or later Holland will be there.
Do you think that this team misses some players at the highest level who could lead the team?
No, I think we have the best players and we have a really good leader in Gary, and he is took a good step for us when he wanted to be a captain of the team, and he is a really leader. Then we have also Bobby, Jeffrey, older players, Jasper, Ton. So we have a mix of older players and younger players, which is also important, so the older players can take the lead and show the younger guys how to do it.
After having experimented with many players during these friendly and qualifications games, do you have some basic ideal 18-20 players in your mind?
Of course, we always have some basic team in the mind, because we have to structure the team, and also we have to then make the tactics for the guys. So of course we have to have some guys in mind when we are deciding what to play and so on. But of course we have to have the possibility to change young players who are coming in, and they also have to see that there's a possibility to be a national player if you're playing good and training hard.
Holland had a great qualification games. The result is 2 playoffs against Sweden this week. What was your first reaction when you heard who's your opponent? How do you analyze them as Dutch team's coach?
Yeah, of course, when the draw was, I think it was the day before the final game, Sweden against Spain. And when you see, you just get like the loser of the final game in the European Championship, of course, then you think, okay, we cannot get a stronger opponent than Sweden. But that's okay, that's a fact. And that's the reason we have to be really prepared for the game. And if we want to be in the finals, we have to win the best teams. So maybe this is the best draw that we could had at the moment, and we have been analyzing, both I and Edwin been analyzing Sweden, and that's the good thing when you're playing against a good team. And there's a lot of games to see on the internet, and so we have a lot of games to see, and we have been analyzing many games and so on.
Do you see Holland playing World Cup in January?
Yes, I see that, but of course then we have to. Our game have to be really good, and you always have to, dream. Because if you don't have a dream, then there's no goal to go for, and the young guys are dreaming for the World Cup.
Thanks a lot for this interview. Good luck this week.